I have been busy over the last few days getting the dahlias ready for their growing season now. They have all been pinched, they have been fed, and I have got all the supports in place as well. So I'm going to take you along step by step on how I have done it and how I've set them up. Thing we're going to go over is pinching your dahlias. Now, I know in the moment it seems really daunting when you've got the snips and you just don't know where to cut, or you feel like you're going to knock the plant back and you might cut it and it won't bloom. But honestly, don't worry about it. I was exactly the same last year when I grew some at home, but then I realised that by pinching them I quadrupled the amount of blooms that I had. It didn't affect the plant at all. It will delay your flowering, but the benefits far outweigh just waiting an extra week or two for your blooms. And if you look at how much I have cut off these, sometimes you do have to be a little bit brutal. So I've already pre-trimmed this bed. I've left the odd tall ones. I will go over the reasons for that in a moment. So I thought I'll take you across to the other bed, the one that I haven't touched yet, and I will go through it with you step by step and just how personally I've been doing it. So I thought we would just tackle the ones that would cost more of the normal stage to be pinching them at. So this variety is the Genevieve one. I can't remember what colour this one is, so that's going to be a surprise. So first things first is you need a pair of sharp snips that have been cleaned. I know they're a little bit grubby here, but they have been cleaned with sanitizer, so I know they are sterile. And the general rule what I've been following is, like with this one, is 3 to 4 true sets of leaves. So we've got one true set there, 1, 2, 3 sets of leaves. I still think that is quite low for this one, so I'm going to go the 4th set of leaves, and you can see these shoots here. And what ends up happening is the plant suppresses the hormones, like the growth hormones for these bits here, and it focuses all its growing energy on the main growth bit here. And if you look, it is already budding up a little bit. I've got 2 tiny buds. That is absolutely useless to me. So by cutting that off there, the plant then will spread the hormones to these side shoots, and these are going to grow and hopefully produce their own flowering stems. So just nice and simple, nice sharp snips, and you just go for it and you just cut that off. So because this is the same variety, I'm not going to clean the snips in between, so we'll move across to this one. So this one looks a little bit more, sorry, get the camera right. So this one looks a little bit more daunting because it's a lot lower down, but we'll take exactly the same approach. So if we look underneath, we've got 1, 2, 3 sets of true leaves. We've got the little side shoots here which want to grow, and this chunk of the plant here suppressing how much it is going to grow. So again, in there and just snip it off, and that is it. So now these bits are going to grow, and you'll end up doubling the amount of flowering stems that you have. Because I'm doing one of the different varieties now, I am just going to clean the snips. This is just the hand sanitizer and just an old towel that I've got. So you just make sure you wipe everything off, and you use the hand sanitizer because it just dries really quickly. So that is that, clean little waft. So we've got this really tall one here. Now I was tempted to cut this one, but I can't. I've got so many more dahlias that I'm going to snip, and see this tuber has produced me 2 plants. I'm not sure if you can just about see that one wobbling there. So I've got 2 off this one, so I am just going to quickly snip this one. You can't really see it great. I'll just snip it using the exact same concept. So I've got 1, 2, 3 sets of true leaves. I'm going to go with the 4th one with this one. And that is how much I have snipped off. I know it seems like a lot of growth, but honestly it is worth it in the end. This one here is another one that is going to bud already, and this stem, like I say, it's useless to me. I can't do nothing with that. So in this tube it has only produced this one plant. So to maximise the production from this one, I'm going to go the same concept again. So technically, is that a plant or oh, it's a leaf down there, so I'm not counting that one. So we would go 1, 2 and 3. But again with this one, I think I'm going to go to the 4th set of leaves because these shoots look really good on that one. I'm going to snip that off. I know it seems a shame to take the buds off now, but they're just not going to produce a usable flower stem, so you do have to sacrifice some. So this variety here, this one is the strawberry and cream variety, and as you can see, it's doing really well. Some of them are, again, they're too short, so they're not going to produce good flowers for me. The smaller ones aren't. This one has a little bit of potential if it did carry on growing up, but I am really tempted to leave this one just because I really want to see what it looks like. But I'm pretty sure that tall one there is the same variety as this one, so I might leave myself that one and be brutal and cut this one out. This is the variety that was the first one to start sprouting in the polytunnel as well. So it just seems to just be a variety that's maybe quite an early one, or it's just quite prolific in the way it grows. So I'm not going to complain, it looks really good. Anyway, let's get into it. So as much as it pains me, I am going to be brutal and be firm with myself, because this tuber has produced just this one. So I need to maximise the amount that I'm going to get from these plants. And I'm not sure if you can see down here, it is trying to send off some side shoots, because these are the side shoots which have done really well. So what I'm tempted to do is just snip that out, leaving these behind and seeing how much these grow, because I have got the others. So I'm going to sacrifice those blooms, because the stem's just not going to be long enough. If I did that, I'd take the whole plant out. So let's see if these grow long enough to produce me some flowers. I've got this variety here. This one is the Senior's Hope one, and they are just not thriving at all. They are being attacked non-stop by something. I'm not sure what's having them. I'm sure you've seen the bags dotted about. So that is what I've been putting them in when they got, it seems like they had a lot of slug damage and they were nibbled right off. So just to protect them, I've been putting them in a little bag. So I don't know if there's just something about this variety that is favoured, or if it's just been unfortunate. But I'm just going to give this a little trim, and there's nothing I can do with these at the moment. Just cross my fingers and hope that they grow. And lastly on this bed, I have the Arabian Night ones. I'm really looking forward to seeing these ones. They're like a really deep red, and I know red's a difficult colour to work in bouquets, but also I think it's going to look quite striking. Now, the thing I find fascinating about these ones, I mean, look at these plants. They look so healthy. They're doing really well. They're grown beautifully, and they haven't been touched by anything other than this one in the middle. I'll take you in closer in a second. And I just don't understand why, because it's circled by all these healthy plants, and this is happening with this one still. So I have no idea why this one is absolutely crawling all the way around near enough to the bottom with aphids. I've never seen this amount of aphids on one plant before. Oh, we got a friend doing the job, but I think they're slightly outnumbered. There's absolutely tons on this one plant. Now this is the one, if you saw on a previous video, that the ants were also on. Now I put a load of cinnamon down around them and the ants have now disappeared. But if you look, this is the plant right next to it. There's nothing on it. Oh, no focus. All these plants are doing absolutely fantastic. There's just this one. So if you do have any reasons what you think as to why just this one in the middle is being had and none of the others are being touched, then please let me know in the comments any theories, or if somebody could actually educate me, that would be fantastic, because I could be completely missing something. I am going to get the sprayer and just blast these off or try and scrape them off. I'm going to have to do something, but first let's tackle the pinching. So we'll have a look at this one. So this tube, it has produced 1, 2, 3, 4 technically, but those two are really small. So exactly the same concept again. 1, 2, 3. We've got the little tiny growth nodes there. Snip that off. I'm going to snip this one. So we've got 1, 2, 3. We've got the growth points there. I know it looks a lot, but I promise it is worth it. So I'm just going to go down the other side now and just get all these pinched, and then I will show you underneath the bags here, because some of them are ready to have the bags taken off, and I'm going to put the bags on some of the other ones. The bags on these ones are ready to come off now, because I feel like the plant is big enough again. This was chewed off like really small, it was almost non-existent anymore. So I just popped these bags on, which seem to have done a brilliant job. So I think this one is ready to come out. So that is that one. And there's also this one here. And these plants are looking absolutely fantastic now. Also, you can see with this one, it has just started to grow back. Dahlias are so resilient. They will keep putting on growth over and over again. As long as the tuber is healthy, it will just keep trying. So as you can see, it's a really tiny plant. So I'm leaving the bag on for now. It won't affect the growth. The bags are so soft and airy that, as you saw with the other one, even when the plant grows in it, it will still do absolutely fine. And I'll take the bag off when it's bigger. This one is looking really sad, and I have just noticed that is why. Look at it there, having a good chomp on my poor Dahlia. It just looks so cute though. Oh my goodness, how adorable is that little thing, even though it's literally eating my Dahlia as we speak. So there we go, I found my problem. So I'm going to relocate this little one and get this Dahlia plant. I'll trim off some of the dead leaves and I'll get it bagged up, and I'm going to have a little hunt on the other ones that aren't doing fantastic and see if I can spot any on those. that's the plant is all bagged up now, so hopefully it will carry on growing. Like I say, they are really resilient, so I'm not overly concerned about that dahlia. I'm more concerned about the other ones there. I think the browning on the leaves, I think that might be from the heat wave that we've just had, and maybe that section of the bed just got a little bit too dry. But again, they will bounce back, so I'm not too worried. The next thing I am going to do is give them all a quick feed. I'm going to do a foliage spray with a seaweed solution. It's like a tonic, so it will just help them to just sort of bounce back, especially after the heat wave and the bit of a drought that they've had. I'm going to put the water on as well a little bit because the ground is looking a bit dry. And oh, I've just found something else. A little tiny green one. I'll bring him up. So we've got another one. So I'll go relocate this one. I was just about to enjoy a coffee break, but somebody else has beat me to it. There's no worse feeling in the world than losing half a brew, so I suppose I better just get cracking instead. When you are doing a foliage spray with any feed or tonic or anything, it's really important to remember to do the underside of the leaves as well. Not many people know this, it's a bit of a fun fact, but the pores are different on the underside of the leaf versus the top of the leaf, and they can actually absorb nutrients much better because the top layer of the leaf has sometimes like a waxy layer to prevent it from drying out in the sun and protect it from sunlight and moisture loss and all that. Is it can't penetrate as well. It is still worth doing the sprays on the top, but it is far more beneficial to get right underneath the leaf as well, and it will also stay on the underside of the leaf for a little bit longer, meaning that the nutrients have more time to soak up as well. So yeah, so don't forget top and bottom of your leaves. Now that the foliage spray has been done and I have pinched all of the dahlias, I've run out of time to do any more. I need to go get the kids from school. So I am back up now. It has been a couple of days since I pinched them, mainly because I've been at work and also because I was waiting on the delivery of the fish blood and bone. But I've got it here in the wheelbarrow. It weighs an absolute ton. I'm just going to sprinkle some around the plants now. I've got the drip line on, so it will get watered in a little bit. I am hoping for a bit of rain overnight to wash it in properly, but if not, I might just get the watering can and just water it in a little bit in the morning because I am off work tomorrow. So let's get into the feeding. So the reason I have gone for the fish blood and bone is because it's got multiple different benefits. So it gives like an immediate hit of nitrogen, which I know dahlias don't need a ton of nitrogen because we don't want to encourage just all the foliage, but they are big plants and they do need the foliage to help them to photosynthesize and all of that. Plus also we need good stem growth, so the nitrogen helps with all that kind of stuff. And they have like a slow release nitrogen in it as well, so it'll steadily feed the plant throughout the season. It also contains phosphorus and calcium, which that's really good for your root development. So when your plants have a healthy root system, they can actually take up nutrients better, and especially the water as well. Because I've only got 2 lines of drip line, the roots are going to have to find the moisture. So when they've got good roots, they can easily spread and get to where they need to go. And the calcium it strengthens your cell walls. So when it comes to your stems and things like that, if the cell walls are nice and strong, it produces stronger stems for you. So you don't have to worry about them being too floppy in your bouquets and your arrangements, and they just make a much more usable flower stem. And the feed also contains potassium too, and that is good for encouraging your blooms. So it helps your blooms to grow, but it also helps the vibrancy of the colours too, which some of the dahlias I've brought are really quite vibrant ones from the pictures anyway. So if I give them a good feed, they'll have all the nutrients they need for get the best out of those blooms. And the one that was nearly blooming a couple of days ago has pretty much fully opened, so I'll go show it you. And this is my first beautiful dahlia in bloom. Still a little bit tight, probably just needs one more day to open up. This one is the strawberry and cream variety, so I was expecting a little bit more of a white fleck in the petals. There is one lighter petal there, but it's the first one, so I'm excited to see how the rest open up. That is me done for this evening. I was hoping to do a little bit more, but it's about 8 o'clock now and I haven't had any tea. So I'm hungry and I won't go home. So I will be up first thing in the morning to get them mulched, and also I've ordered some electric fence stakes because I'm going to try those for doing the netting, because I've never done netting before, so that's going to be something else I've got to figure out as I go. So yeah, so I'm going to go home and I'll see you in the morning. So I was up bright and early this morning to get cracking with this. Obviously it didn't rain in the night, so I'm just watering that fish blood and bone in that I put down yesterday. When I went go check on the horses in the field shelter this morning, they were looking at me like, what on earth are you doing here at this time? But I think they've come out now. Yeah, they're back in the paddock now. They've got free choice, they can do as they please, they can go in and out whenever they like, day and night. So it keeps them happy, keeps me happy. I really need to get a hose pipe long enough to come into here because I keep getting wet feet filling up the watering can. I've got some hay off one of the old hay bales which are left over from the winter. Basically, I just save anything that the horses won't eat. So sometimes we get a bale that is a bit too dusty, or it's had like a little hole in the side, so it's gone mouldy, and I'm obviously not going to feed them mouldy hay, but it works really well as mulch. So I've got an endless supply of mulch at the moment, and I've just had the fresh batch of hay dropped off the neighbour. So there's a couple of reasons why I have decided to mulch the dahlia beds. I will be mulching most of the other beds as well, but I'm not sure if you can see in the screen, but the chrysanthemums have already well and truly taken over that bed, so they're obviously not going to get mulched now. But it's just not a good idea to have completely bare soil, because it can get quite hot when we have those really sunny days, and we've got it forecast again like another mini heat wave coming, so this will help to keep the ground a little bit cooler for the dahlias. Also, it will help with the moisture retention, so it won't dry out as quickly, so I won't be watering as often, which is brilliant. It's better for the plants because they're going to get less stress, there's going to be less fluctuations of baked dry ground and then heavy watering and then again baked dry. It's just going to be hopefully more consistent. Also, the bonus would be if it helped with a bit of weed suppression. I don't think it's going to help with the grass that is popping through, because from experience I use the hay on the bull patches and the paddocks, and I just mulch it really heavily with the hay, And what I've noticed is the grass comes through beautifully and the weeds are all suppressed. So I end up with much nicer grazing paddocks. So I don't think it's going to help with the bits of grass coming through. But if it helps with the weeds, that's half the battle anyway. And it's not only hay that you can use as a mulch. I'm also using the grass cuttings as well. Just always make sure you let your grass cuttings dry out for a good few days before though. An idea is to just lay them out in like a row. That's what I've done further up on the bed there. Every time I mowed, I've just put all the grass cuttings in a line so they just dry out a bit quicker, or else you're going to end up with like a big slimy horrible mess, which is just not good for anything really. And that is all the mulching done. So this bed's got a mixture of the hay and the grass cuttings. Some of them look like the hay's quite high up around them, but honestly with a good downpour this hay will flatten right down around the plants. And then this side is just all hay. This side was a bit easier to do because there was more space in between the plants. So now I am going to attempt to do the netting. I've not ever netted any plants before, but I see that most people either net the dahlias or corral the dahlias. So what I've decided just is I'm going to net this side to see how this one goes, and then I'm going to corral that bed there just to see how the two different methods work. And who knows, I might pick a favourite by the end of it and just do that one next year. So I've just got electric fence stakes. I like these because they've got the different eye holes or hooks, whatever you would like to call them, on them. I'm thinking 6 might be enough, but now I'm looking at it more, it might be 8. But I'm going to go with 6 first and just see what happens. So these have got the metal spike on them. So they push on the ground and they are really quite stable, and they do take some effort to get back out again. We use these all across the land for the horses. It's a main type of fencing, obviously apart from the perimeter fencing. So I do feel like these are quite reliable, but obviously I've never done it for this type of thing before. So I'm going to go roughly halfway. Yeah, that does look quite a long gap, but I'm just going to stick with it for now. I can always add an extra one in, can't I? I'm going to put that one. Now, not going to lie, I did just buy a cheap net, so I will probably end up regretting that very soon. It's supposed to be 9 meters long, the net is, which is the same length as the beds, and 1.5 meters wide. Jake, come off. He loves lying on the hay, but he's going to end up crushing my plants, so I've got Jake proof the dahlias now as well. I was hoping this would look like an obvious kind of roll up, like rolled up way, but it's not. I found an end, so I'm going to run this end just down one side, I think, and then open it over. And if anyone's got any actual tips on the best way to do this netting, please help me. Just pop any tips in the comments, please. It'd be very much appreciated. Now this is going to be the difficult part. Obviously this would have been easier to net them if I'd pinched them lower, but I'm just going to delicate. Ta-da! I've done my first bit of netting. I'm really quite pleased with this. The holes are really big, so I hope that doesn't cause me any problems. I've managed to do it without snapping off any of the stems, which I'm quite proud about. Pretty much exactly the same concept as that one. I'm just going to pop the pegs down and then I'm going to go around the perimeter of the bed with this. I hope I've got enough left on it. It was originally a 50-metre roll. Obviously I have used some off it for other bits and bobs, so fingers crossed there's actually enough on there. So I suppose the idea with the corralling is that you support the outside, the plants in the middle support themselves maybe, and it just stops them from falling out of the bed. If I have enough, I might do one line straight down the middle too, but I'm not sure even if there's enough to go all the way around first. Turns out there was plenty on the roll, so I am going to go straight down the middle too. And that is the corralling done. I'm not entirely sure how this one is going to work. I might have to put some actual fence posts in instead that are a bit sturdier. If it looks like it's not going to work, I might just swap it for the netting, or I might just stick with it and just see what happens. And that is the dahlias done now and set up for their growing season. I really hope you have enjoyed the video and picked up some useful tips along the way. I know it's been a long one, so thank you for sticking it out if you have made it all the way to the end. Also, if any of you have any good growing tips for your dahlias, please let me know. This is the first time I've grown dahlias on any sort of scale. I've only grown them at home before. Last year I just had about 5 plants. A couple of those were the salmon runner variety, Hillcrest and American Dawn. There was another one as well, but I can't remember the name of that one. So yeah, so any tips would be greatly appreciated. I am doing a big plant out next. I have got a few hundred plants left to get out into the beds, so the aim is to do that over the next few days, and I'll be going through the varieties, the struggles I've had with the germination, the pests such as the slugs, and just overall the ones that haven't thrived in the soil blocks, but also all the positives of the ones that have thrived are doing really well. So yeah, if you want to see the big plant out, don't forget to subscribe, and hopefully I will see you on that one.